Imagine a continent so vast and diverse that it stretches from Arctic tundras to tropical islands, where centuries-old traditions blend with cutting-edge innovation. Welcome to Asia, a place where every corner tells a different story, yet somehow it all connects into something extraordinary. But what makes Asia a continent like no other? Is it the snow-capped peaks of the Himalayas, the neon lights of bustling metropolises, or the centuries-old traditions that still shape the future? Now, you might think you already know what makes Asia so special. But before I take you through its breathtaking wonders, let me share a few fascinating facts that reveal just how remarkable this part of the world truly is. Did you know that Asia is home to more than half of the world's population? From the high-tech skylines of Tokyo and Seoul to the quiet villages of Laos and Nepal, the cultural diversity is incredible. Asia also holds both the highest and lowest points on Earth, from the peak of Mount Everest to the depths of the Dead Sea. Rice, a dietary staple for billions, was first cultivated in Asia over 9,000 years ago, shaping not just meals but entire civilizations. Some Asian languages, like Chinese, don't use an alphabet at all. Instead, they rely on thousands of characters, each representing a word or idea. And here's something fun. Japan has more pets than children. And in South Korea, singles celebrate Black Day by eating black noodles together. Now that I've uncovered some fascinating facts, let me take you on a journey through the breathtaking wonders of Asia, from sacred temples and misty mountains to modern marvels and untouched natural beauty. The Great Wall of China isn't just a wall, it's a living symbol of resilience. Stretching over 21,000 kilometers, 13,000 miles, it winds across deserts, mountains, and grasslands like a giant stone dragon. Built over centuries by multiple dynasties, especially the Ming, it was originally a military defense system. Today, it stands as one of the greatest architectural achievements in human history. Climbing the Great Wall is like walking back through time. In sections like Mutianyu and Badaling near Beijing, wide stone paths and fortified towers rise dramatically along the ridges. Every step tells a story. Look out from the top, and the vast landscape unfolds before you. A patchwork of hills, forests, and distant villages. The sheer scale is staggering. But not all of the wall is pristine. Some parts lie in ruins, crumbling quietly into the earth. These untouched areas feel haunting, almost sacred, reminders of ancient hands that laid each brick. The wall wasn't just built to keep invaders out, it was built to unify, protect, and endure. And it has. Today it welcomes millions, inviting them to witness China's strength, history, and beauty, one breathtaking view at a time. Zhangjiajie feels like it belongs to another world. Towering stone pillars, some over 200 meters, 660 feet, tall, pierce through a misty forest in central China's Hunan province. These sandstone spires inspired the floating mountains in Avatar, but no CGI can match the magic of standing here in real life. The park is part of the larger Wulingyuan Scenic Area, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's a natural maze of cliffs, caves, waterfalls, and dense bamboo groves. Trails weave through the forest, while cable cars soar above the peaks. The bravest visitors step onto the Zhangjiajie Glass Bridge, the highest and longest of its kind, suspended 300 meters, 984 feet, over a canyon. Atop Tianmen Mountain, you'll find a winding road with 99 hairpin turns and a stairway of 999 steps leading to the famous Heaven's Gate, a natural rock arch that seems carved by the gods themselves. The air is crisp, the views otherworldly. Every corner of Zhangjiajie bursts with mystique and raw beauty. It's nature in its most dramatic form, untouched, untamed, and unforgettable. Unearthed by accident in 1974, the Terracotta Army turned a quiet field near Xi'an into one of the world's greatest archaeological sites. Beneath the soil lay thousands of life-sized clay soldiers, horses, and chariots, each crafted over 2,000 years ago to guard Emperor Qin Shi Huang in the afterlife. The scale is breathtaking. Over 8,000 warriors have been uncovered so far, and each one is unique, with different facial expressions, hairstyles, armor, and even ranks. They stand in formation across 3 massive pits, ready for battle even in death. Some hold real bronze weapons so well preserved they remain razor sharp. This underground army was part of a vast mausoleum complex, a replica of the emperor's kingdom meant to serve him beyond the grave. The actual tomb mound, rumored to contain rivers of mercury and a palace of treasures, remains sealed and untouched out of respect and mystery. Walking through the pits feels like stepping into a frozen moment in history. It's eerie, powerful, awe-inspiring. The Terracotta Army isn't just a wonder of craftsmanship. It's a testament to the ambition of an emperor who wanted to conquer time itself. Mount Fuji rises in solitude, symmetrical and serene, as if painted into the sky. At 3,776 meters, 12,389 feet, it's Japan's tallest peak and its most iconic. A sacred symbol in Shinto belief and a muse to artists for centuries, Fuji is more than just a mountain. It's a spiritual experience. Visible on clear days from Tokyo, the mountain shifts with the seasons. In spring, it's framed by cherry blossoms. In summer, it becomes a pilgrimage route, with hikers ascending its slopes overnight to catch the sunrise from the summit, a ritual known as Goraiko. In autumn, it's surrounded by fiery red maple leaves. In winter, its snow-covered cone glows under a cold blue sky. Five lakes surround the base, offering perfect reflections. Lake Kawaguchi is the most famous, a dream spot for photographers. Temples, onsens, and ryokans dot the region, blending nature and tradition. Fuji is a dormant volcano, last erupting in 1707, but its presence is anything but dormant. It lives in every postcard, every woodblock print, every quiet moment shared in its shadow. To see Fuji is to feel Japan's heart, still powerful and beautifully alive. Kyoto is where Japan whispers its stories. Once the imperial capital, it's now a city of timeless elegance, home to more than 1,600 Buddhist temples and 400 Shinto shrines. But this isn't a museum. It's a living, breathing portal into the country's spiritual soul. Begin at Fushimi Inari Taisha, where thousands of vermilion torii gates stretch through the forest like a sacred tunnel. Each gate was donated by someone seeking blessings, and their wishes linger in the air. At Kinkakuji, the golden pavilion glimmers under sunlight, its reflection rippling in a quiet pond. Nearby, Ryoanji's Zen rock garden invites silence, stillness, and thought. In Gion, geishas glide along stone paths under glowing lanterns. Tea houses, wooden machiya houses, and narrow alleys feel untouched by time. Every season transforms Kyoto. Cherry blossoms in spring, vibrant maples in autumn, soft snow in winter. Kyoto isn't flashy. It doesn't shout. It breathes in incense, chants, and rustling leaves. Here, even the smallest detail, a folded crane, a weathered statue, holds deep meaning. It's a place that teaches you to slow down, to listen, and to feel the invisible threads that tie past to present. Tokyo is where the future meets tradition, fast, loud, dazzling, and yet deeply grounded. Neon skyscrapers and centuries-old shrines live side by side in this sprawling metropolis of 37 million people. It's overwhelming, exhilarating, and endlessly fascinating. Start in Shibuya. The world's busiest pedestrian crossing pulses with movement and light. In Harajuku, fashion turns into art. In Akihabara, anime, gaming, and tech culture explode into every storefront. And in Asakusa, Tokyo's oldest temple, Sensoji, offers a gateway into the city's spiritual side. From sushi conveyor belts to Michelin-starred ramen joints, Tokyo is a culinary dream. The Tsukiji outer market brims with fresh seafood, sizzling skewers, and smells that make you stop and stare. Want views? Head to Tokyo Skytree. At 634 meters, 2,080 feet, it's one of the tallest towers in the world. But it's not just big. Tokyo is full of quiet corners, hidden gardens, serene tea houses, tiny bars that seat only 6. It's a city of contrasts, constantly reinventing itself while keeping its soul intact. In Tokyo, every second feels alive. The Taj Mahal is more than just India's most iconic monument. It's a love story carved in marble. Built by Emperor Shah Jahan in memory of his wife Mumtaz Mahal, this masterpiece took over 20 years and 20,000 artisans to complete. The result? A structure so perfect it feels almost unreal. Standing on the banks of the Yamuna River in Agra, the white marble dome shimmers in the sun, changes colors with the sky, and glows under the moonlight. Intricate inlays of semi-precious stones, floral motifs, and Quranic calligraphy cover the walls, each detail a tribute to eternal love. Measuring about 73 meters, 240 feet, high, the central dome is flanked by 4 slender minarets. Inside lies the cenotaph of Mumtaz, surrounded by an octagonal marble screen, a place of quiet reverence. The real tomb lies in a crypt below. The symmetry, the craftsmanship, the emotion, it's overwhelming. The Taj isn't just a building, it's a feeling. A reminder that love, beauty, and grief can last forever. Whether you visit at sunrise, sunset, or under a full moon, the magic of the Taj Mahal is unforgettable. Varanasi isn't just a city, it's a spiritual force. Perched along the banks of the sacred Ganges River, it's one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in the world, with roots reaching back over 3,000 years. For Hindus, this is the holiest of cities, a place of life, death, and rebirth. Walk down to the Ghats, the riverside steps, at dawn. You'll see devotees bathing in the river, offering prayers, lighting candles, and chanting mantras as the sun rises. Boats glide past smoke from cremation fires, where bodies are burned in the open air. A final liberation from the cycle of life. It's intense, it's raw, it's beautiful. The narrow alleys of the old city are a labyrinth of temples, shrines, cows, flower vendors, and holy men. The scent of incense mixes with street food spices. The air hums with energy. At sunset, the Ganga Aarti ceremony brings fire, music, and ritual together in a mesmerizing display of devotion. Varanasi doesn't filter anything. It shows you the cycle of life in its purest, most honest form. It's not just a destination, it's an awakening. The Indian Himalayas are where earth and sky collide. Snow-capped peaks, remote monasteries, colorful prayer flags fluttering in the wind. This is a region that awakens both awe and peace. Stretching across Ladakh, Himachal Pradesh, and Sikkim, each state offers a different flavor of the mountains. In Ladakh, the landscape is stark, almost lunar. Monasteries cling to cliffs, and turquoise lakes like Pangong and Somoriri shimmer in the high-altitude sunlight. The air is thin, the silence powerful. Villages are tiny, tucked between mountains that reach over 6,000 meters. 19,600 feet. This is where spirituality breathes. Himachal is greener. Think pine forests, apple orchards, and charming hill towns like Manali, Dharamshala, and Spiti. Tibetan culture thrives here, with prayer wheels spinning and monks in crimson robes walking mountain paths. You'll find hot springs, alpine meadows, and temples nestled in fog. Sikkim in the eastern Himalayas is a hidden gem. Towering peaks like Kanchenjunga, the world's third highest mountain, dominate the skyline. Glacial lakes, orchid-filled valleys, and a blend of Buddhist and Hindu traditions make it feel sacred and untouched. Together, these Himalayan regions offer raw beauty, deep stillness, and a sense that you're closer to something beyond this world. Mount Everest is the crown of the Earth, the highest point on the planet at 8,848 meters, 29,029 feet. Straddling the border between Nepal and Tibet, this colossal peak draws climbers, trekkers, and dreamers from around the world. But you don't have to summit to feel its power. Even seeing Everest from afar is humbling. From the popular Everest Base Camp trek, the trail winds through suspension bridges, yak caravans, and Sherpa villages painted with prayer flags. As you ascend through Namche Bazaar and Tengboche, the air thins and the landscape shifts from forest to glacier. Every breath is harder and more rewarding. The mountain is known to the Sherpa people as Sagarmatha in Nepali and Chomolungma in Tibetan, goddess of the sky. It's sacred, dangerous, and majestic. Since the first successful ascent in 1953 by Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay, Everest has become a global symbol of human ambition. The Kathmandu Valley is a treasure trove of culture, faith, and ancient architecture. Nestled among green hills in central Nepal, it's home to three medieval cities, Kathmandu, Patan, and Bhaktapur, each with its own Durbar Square, royal palaces, and intricate temples. The valley is a living museum. Wander through Kathmandu's Tamil district, then enter Swayambhunath, the monkey temple, perched on a hilltop with sweeping views and fluttering prayer flags. Spin the prayer wheels, hear the chants, and let the scent of butter lamps and incense pull you deeper into this sacred world. In Patan, admire the Newar craftsmanship in wood, metal, and stone. Temples here are works of art. In Bhaktapur, the streets feel frozen in time. Clay pots drying in the sun, craftsmen carving masks, and ancient courtyards where traditions still thrive. Buddhanath Stupa, one of the largest in the world, draws pilgrims who circle it in meditative silence. Earthquakes may have shaken this valley, but its spirit remains strong. It's a place where Buddhism and Hinduism blend, where past and present walk hand in hand. In Kathmandu Valley, every alley is a story, every rooftop a view, every temple a heartbeat. clinging to a cliff at 3,120 meters, 10,240 feet, above sea level. Tiger's Nest Monastery looks like something out of a dream. Officially known as Paro Taktsang, it's Bhutan's most iconic site, a place of awe, mystery, and deep spiritual energy. Legend says Guru Rinpoche flew here on the back of a tigress in the 8th century to meditate and tame evil spirits. He introduced Buddhism to Bhutan, and this monastery, built in his honor, has become a sacred pilgrimage site. The current structure dates back to the 17th century and was beautifully restored after a fire in 1998. Getting here isn't easy. The hike is steep and winding, a 2 to 3 hour journey through pine forests, fluttering prayer flags, and rushing waterfalls. But the reward is immense. As you approach, the monastery seems to hover on the cliffside, surrounded by swirling clouds and sheer drops. Rising nearly 200 meters, 660 feet, above the Sri Lankan jungle, Sigiriya Rock Fortress is part natural wonder, part ancient engineering marvel. Also known as the Lion Rock, it was transformed in the 5th century by King Kasyapa into a lavish royal palace, complete with gardens, moats, and murals, all perched atop a massive monolith of volcanic rock. Climbing Sigiriya is like entering a lost world. The stairway winds past mirror-like walls that once reflected the king's face and exquisite frescoes of celestial maidens, still vibrant after 1,500 years. Midway up, you pass the giant lion paws carved into the rock, all that remains of an enormous lion-shaped gateway that once marked the entrance to the summit. At the top, the ruins of Kasyapa's Sky Palace await, with panoramic views stretching across the dense forest and distant mountains. You can still see the layout of bathing pools, throne rooms, and terraces, remnants of a king's dream to rule from the heavens. Today, Sigiriya is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of Sri Lanka's most prized landmarks. It's not just the climb or the ruins. It's the feeling of standing where power, ambition, and art collided atop the sky. The Maldives is where fantasy meets reality. Scattered across the Indian Ocean like strings of turquoise pearls, this island nation is made up of 26 coral atolls and over 1,000 islands, most no bigger than a few football fields. But what they lack in size, they make up for in sheer beauty. Picture this: powdery white sand, coconut palms swaying in the breeze, and water so clear you can see tropical fish from your overwater bungalow. The sea glows in shades of blue you didn't know existed: aquamarine, sapphire, turquoise. Beneath the surface, coral reefs teem with life. Manta rays, sea turtles, whale sharks, and endless schools of colorful fish. The Maldives is a diver's paradise, a honeymooner's dream, a place where time slows, stress melts, and every sunset feels like the world sighing in relief. But this beauty is fragile. The islands rise just 1.5 meters, 5 feet, above sea level on average, making the Maldives one of the countries most vulnerable to climate change. Visiting here isn't just a vacation. It's a reminder of nature's perfection and our responsibility to protect it. The Phi Phi Islands are a splash of emerald cliffs and golden beaches in southern Thailand, nature's playground in the Andaman Sea. Just a short boat ride from Phuket or Krabi, this small archipelago is famous for its dramatic limestone karsts, vibrant marine life, and iconic scenes from movies like The Beach. Bai Phi Le, the uninhabited star of the group, is home to Maya Bay, a perfect crescent of sand wrapped in towering cliffs. After being closed for years to allow the ecosystem to recover, Maya Bay has reopened with sustainable visitor limits, making its return all the more magical. Phi Phi Dawn is where the action is. Beach bars, fire shows, dive shops, and bungalows tucked into the hills. Yet it's easy to escape the crowds. Just hike to the island's viewpoint for a breathtaking panorama of twin bays and turquoise waters. Snorkeling here is like swimming in a tropical aquarium. Think coral gardens, clownfish, and maybe even a reef shark or two. Whether you're cliff jumping, kayaking through hidden lagoons, or just soaking in the sunsets, the Phi Phi Islands are pure cinematic paradise. Chiang Mai is Thailand's spiritual heart, a city where ancient temples and mountain mist meet artisan cafes and lantern-lit festivals. Nestled in the cooler highlands of northern Thailand, this former Lanna Kingdom capital holds more than 300 temples, each telling its own quiet story. Start with Wat Phra Singh and Wat Chedi Luang, their golden stupas rising from the city center like sacred beacons. But for something unforgettable, climb the winding road up to Wat Phra That Doi Suthep. Perched 1,073 meters, 3,520 feet, above sea level, the temple glows in the morning light. Ring bells, turn prayer wheels, and admire views that stretch across Chiang Mai like a painted scroll. Inside the temple's intricate murals, chanting monks, and the scent of sandalwood draw you into a deeper state of stillness. Time seems to move slower here, not because there's less to do, but because you want to take it all in. Come during Yipeng and Loy Krathong, and you'll witness a sky full of glowing lanterns rising into the night, a symbol of letting go and starting anew. In Chiang Mai, the sacred isn't separate from daily life. It's woven into every breath. Ha Long Bay is a mystical seascape where over 1,600 limestone islands and islets rise from the emerald waters of the Gulf of Tonkin. Located in northern Vietnam, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site that looks like a scene from an ancient myth. Sail through the bay on a traditional junk boat, and you'll drift past towering cliffs, hidden caves, and floating fishing villages. Some islands are shaped like animals: the fighting cocks, the stone dog, the elephant head. Others hide surprises, like Sung Sot Cave, with its massive chambers and glowing stalactites, or Tai Top Island, where you can hike to the summit for a panoramic view of this watery maze. Legends say that dragons descended from the heavens to protect Vietnam, scattering jewels into the sea that became these islands. And honestly, it feels true. There's something otherworldly here, a sense of peace that settles into your bones. Whether you're kayaking through lagoons, diving into coral gardens, or watching the sunrise paint the karsts gold, Ha Long Bay is a place that quiets the noise of modern life. It's not just stunning, it's spiritual. Hoi An is a living postcard, a charming riverside town where time seems to linger. Located in central Vietnam, this UNESCO World Heritage Site blends centuries of history with timeless beauty. Once a bustling port between the 15th and 19th centuries, Hoi An absorbed influences from Chinese, Japanese, and European traders, and it shows in every lantern-lit alley. Stroll through the old town, and you'll pass mustard yellow buildings with wooden shutters, ornate temples, and assembly halls guarded by stone lions. The Japanese-covered bridge, built in the 16th century, is a graceful icon stretching over a gentle canal. By day, tailors craft custom clothes in hours. By night, the town glows under hundreds of colorful silk lanterns. The Thu Bon River reflects all this magic like a mirror. Float a candlelit paper boat during the monthly Lantern Festival and make a wish. It's a small act that feels profound. Hoi An's charm is also in its food. Cao Lao noodles, white rose dumplings, and crispy banh mi. It's a place that slows you down and fills you with wonder, flavor, and light. In Hoi An, the past isn't behind you, it's all around you. Angkor Wat is a temple of epic scale and spiritual depth, the largest religious monument on Earth, spanning 162 hectares, 400 acres. Located near Siem Reap in Cambodia, it was built in the 12th century by King Suryavarman II as a Hindu temple dedicated to Vishnu, then transformed into a Buddhist site over time. From afar, its 5 lotus-shaped towers rise like a dream from the jungle. Up close, the detail is staggering. Bas-reliefs carved into sandstone walls stretching for kilometers tell stories from ancient epics like the Ramayana. Apsara dancers, heavenly nymphs, are etched in stone, graceful, eternal. Watching sunrise over Angkor Wat is a rite of passage. As the sky turns pink and gold, the silhouette of the temple reflects in the moat, and for a moment, the world stands still. But Angkor is more than just one temple. The entire Angkor Archaeological Park holds over 1,000 structures. From the tree-entwined ruins of Ta Prohm to the enigmatic faces of Bayon. It's a sacred city frozen in stone. To walk through Angkor is to feel the echo of empires, devotion, and imagination. It's not just a wonder. It's a kingdom carved by the gods. Luang Prabang is where Laos reveals its quiet soul. A serene town nestled between the Mekong and Nam Khan rivers, wrapped in jungle-covered hills and crowned with golden temples. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, it feels more like a village than a city, where time moves with the rhythm of monks' footsteps and rustling palm trees. Rise early to witness the almsgiving ceremony as barefoot monks in saffron robes walk through the misty streets, collecting offerings of sticky rice. It's a humbling spiritual moment, deeply rooted in centuries-old tradition. The town itself is a blend of traditional Lao architecture and French colonial charm. Wander through morning markets, sip coffee at a riverside cafe, and climb the 328 steps of Mount Fuji for panoramic views over golden rooftops and mountain silhouettes. Luang Prabang is also a gateway to natural wonders. The turquoise tiers of Kwangsi Falls, elephant sanctuaries, and river cruises through limestone valleys. Everything feels slow here, intentional. It's not flashy or crowded. It doesn't need to be. In Luang Prabang, beauty whispers. And in that stillness, you'll feel something rare. A connection to peace, simplicity, and the sacred. Bagan is a sea of spires rising from an endless plain. In this ancient Burmese capital, over 2,000 temples and pagodas stretch across 100 square kilometers, 39 square miles, creating one of the most awe-inspiring landscapes on Earth. From the 9th to 13th centuries, Bagan was the heart of a mighty empire, and its devotion to Buddhism is written in stone. Climb one of the viewing mounds or ride a hot air balloon at sunrise, and you'll see golden domes, crumbling brick stupas, and whitewashed shrines bathed in soft morning light. The Irrawaddy River flows nearby, completing a scene that feels more myth than memory. Each temple tells a different story. Ananda Temple glows with harmony and grace. Dhammayangyi, the largest, is wrapped in mystery and legends. Some temples hold frescoes, some hold relics, and others simply offer silence. Bagan isn't just a historical site, it's a spiritual realm. Monks still pray here, pilgrims still visit, and visitors often find something deeper than they expected. The heat, the dust, the golden light. It's intoxicating. And the feeling of standing among the ruins of a forgotten kingdom, that stays with you long after you leave. The Petronas Twin Towers aren't just the crown jewels of Kuala Lumpur's skyline. They're a bold statement of progress, culture, and ambition. Standing at 452 meters, 1,483 feet, these gleaming giants were the tallest buildings in the world from 1998 to 2004, and they remain the tallest twin towers today. Inspired by Islamic architecture, each tower features an 8-pointed star floor design, symbolizing harmony, unity, and stability. The facades shimmer with stainless steel and glass, catching the tropical light in ever-changing reflections. Connecting them is the iconic sky bridge at 170 meters, 558 feet, a viewing deck that offers sweeping views of the city's heartbeat. Below, KLCC Park offers a lush contrast, fountains, walking paths, and families enjoying the serenity beneath steel giants. Inside, the towers house offices, a science center, an art gallery, and the massive Surya KLCC Mall, packed with luxury brands and local delicacies. Singapore's Gardens by the Bay is a surreal fusion of nature and innovation. Located in the heart of the city, just behind Marina Bay Sands, this 101-hectare, 250-acre wonderland transforms what a garden can be. Here, plants don't just grow, they perform. At the heart of it all are the Super Tree Grove, vertical gardens that soar up to 50 meters, 164 feet high. These steel and concrete trees are wrapped in greenery and connected by a skywalk that gives visitors a bird's-eye view of the garden's futuristic dreamscape. As night falls, the trees light up in an LED music show that feels like nature's own concert. Step into the cloud forest, where mist drifts around a 35-meter, 115-foot indoor waterfall, the tallest of its kind. Inside, orchids, ferns, and carnivorous plants thrive in a high-altitude ecosystem. Next door, the Flower Dome showcases blooms from around the world, with floral installations that change with the seasons. Gardens by the Bay isn't just beautiful, it's sustainable. Solar power, rainwater harvesting, and cooling systems make it a green marvel. Bali isn't just a destination, it's a feeling. Known as the Island of the Gods, this Indonesian paradise blends volcanic peaks, emerald rice terraces, sacred temples, and golden beaches into one harmonious whole. It's where spirituality dances with surf culture, and tradition lives in everyday life. Start in Ubud, the island's cultural heart. Here, jungle encloses ancient temples, monkeys swing through trees, and artisans craft offerings by hand. The Tegalalong rice terraces stretch in green steps across the hills, a symbol of harmony between people and nature. Down south, Bali's beaches pulse with energy. Canggu is hip and laid back. Uluwatu boasts cliffs and waves made for surfing legends. And Seminyak glows with stylish cafes and beach clubs, perfect for sunset cocktails. But Bali's soul lives in its rituals. Temples like Tanah Lot and Uluwatu perch on cliffs above crashing waves, glowing with devotion and fire dance performances. Daily offerings of flowers, rice, and incense remind you that the divine is never far away. Whether you come for yoga, adventure, food, or peace, Bali wraps you in warmth. It's not about ticking boxes, it's about letting go and simply being. Borobudur is the world's largest Buddhist temple, and it rises like a stone lotus from the green heart of Java. Built in the 9th century, this colossal structure is shaped like a mandala, with 9 stacked levels symbolizing the path to enlightenment. At its summit, 72 perforated stupas encircle a massive central dome, each one housing a meditating Buddha statue. Carved from over 2 million volcanic stone blocks, Borobudur is more than architecture. It's a journey. As you ascend the terraces, over 2,600 relief panels tell stories from the Buddha's life and teachings. It's a path walked in silence by pilgrims and travelers alike, under the glow of the rising sun or misty monsoon skies. From the top, the view is breathtaking: lush forests, volcanic peaks, and the distant silhouette of Mount Merapi. The temple was buried for centuries under layers of ash and jungle, forgotten until rediscovered in the 1800s and restored to glory. Palawan is the Philippines' crown jewel, a pristine escape of turquoise lagoons, hidden beaches, and jungle-covered limestone cliffs. Often called the last frontier, this island province remains blissfully untouched, where every view feels like a screensaver come to life. Start in El Nido, where karst cliffs rise straight out of the sea and island hopping takes you to secret coves and sandbars that vanish with the tide. Big Lagoon, Small Lagoon, and Secret Beach. Their names are simple, but the experience is anything but. Kayak through crystal clear waters and snorkel among vibrant coral gardens. Further south lies Puerto Princesa's underground river, a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the new 7 wonders of nature. Venture into its 8.2-kilometer, 5.1-mile, cave system by boat, where stalactites and echoes create an eerie, beautiful world beneath the earth. Palawan isn't about luxury, it's about purity. It's the taste of fresh mangoes on a boat, the sound of waves lapping a bamboo hut, the silence under a sky full of stars. Here, nature whispers, and you'll want to listen. At first glance, the chocolate hills of Bohol seem like a fantasy. Over 1,200 cone-shaped hills rising from the earth in near-perfect symmetry. During the dry season, the green grass covering them turns a rich, chocolatey brown, hence the name. Spread over 50 square kilometers, 19 square miles, it's one of the Philippines' most iconic and mysterious landscapes. Geologists say they were formed by coral deposits uplifted by tectonic forces and eroded over time. Locals, however, prefer legends, like the story of two giants who threw boulders at each other in a feud, only to reconcile and leave the battlefield untouched. You can climb the viewing deck at Carmen for a panoramic look at this surreal terrain, a horizon dotted with earthy mounds like a giant's playground. There are no other hills quite like them anywhere on Earth. Beyond the hills, Bohol offers rivers for paddleboarding, tarsier sanctuaries, home to one of the world's smallest primates, and waterfalls hidden in lush jungle. But it's the chocolate hills that steal the show. Proof that even the simplest shapes, repeated by nature, can become extraordinary. Seoul is where old meets ultra-modern, where royal palaces stand just blocks away from glass skyscrapers, and centuries-old traditions thrive in a digital world. This dynamic city of over 9 million pulses with energy, fast-paced, trend-setting, yet deeply rooted in its history. Start at Gyeongbokgung Palace, built in 1395, where changing guards in colorful hanbok reenact ancient rituals. Stroll through Bukchon Hanok Village, where narrow lanes are lined with traditional wooden homes. Or visit Jogyesa Temple to see monks chant under towering ginkgo trees. Then shift gears. Head to Gangnam's stylish boutiques, or to Hongdae, where youth culture, music, and art spill into the streets. Seoul's food scene is explosive, from sizzling bulgogi and spicy kimchi to late-night tteokbokki on neon-lit street corners. Towering above the city is Namsan Seoul Tower, offering panoramic views, especially dazzling at night when the skyline turns electric. High-speed internet, ultra-efficient subways, and K-pop rhythms make Seoul feel like a city of the future. But beneath the speed is Seoul. In its respect for elders, its daily tea rituals, its deep cultural pride. In Seoul, you don't just explore, you plug into something vibrant and alive. The Gobi Desert stretches across southern Mongolia and northern China like a vast golden ocean. Covering over 1.3 million square kilometers, 500,000 square miles, it's one of the largest deserts on Earth. But it's not just sand. The Gobi surprises you. You'll find towering dunes, icy mountain ridges, fossil-filled cliffs, and wide steppes where nomads still ride horseback under endless skies. Temperatures swing wildly. It can be freezing at night, scorching by day. Yet life thrives here, tough and resilient. In the flaming cliffs of Bayanzag, the first dinosaur eggs were discovered. The red sandstone glows at sunset, echoing with ancient secrets. Nearby, camels plod past gurs, traditional felt tents, where herders greet you with warm milk tea and open-hearted hospitality. This is the land of Genghis Khan, a place of freedom, silence, and wind. Ride a Bactrian camel through the Kongoran Els dunes, or simply sit under the stars, watching a sky so clear it feels infinite. The Gobi isn't empty. It's open, raw, beautiful, and humbling. It reminds you how small we are and how grand the earth can be. Taipei is a city of contrasts, where Taoist temples hum with incense beside buzzing night markets and cloud-piercing towers share space with jungle-clad mountains. It's a place where tradition and innovation blend seamlessly in every street. At the heart stands Taipei 101, once the tallest building in the world at 508 meters, 1,667 feet. Shaped like a bamboo stalk, this skyscraper is both an engineering marvel and a cultural symbol. Down below, explore the spiritual side at Longshan Temple, alive with chanting, candlelight, and dragon carvings. Then dive into the food scene at Shilin Night Market, a sensory overload of sizzling, stinky tofu, bubble tea, and pork buns. Take a hot spring soak in Beitou. Hike Elephant Mountain for that postcard-perfect skyline shot. Or ride the Mao Kong gondola over tea plantations where oolong brews in the breeze. Taipei is not loud or flashy, but it's rich with warmth, depth, and flavor. A place that welcomes you with a bow and a snack, and leaves you dreaming of your next visit. Macau is a city of dual identities. Part Portuguese elegance, part Chinese soul, wrapped in a glitzy casino-fueled exterior. Just across the bay from Hong Kong, this tiny special administrative region of China blends colonial charm with modern dazzle. Wander the cobbled lanes of the UNESCO-listed historic center. The ruins of St. Paul's, a 17th-century church facade, rises dramatically at the top of a stone staircase, surrounded by pastel-colored buildings, tiled plazas, and ornate balconies. It feels more Lisbon than Asia. Then shift gears. Cotai Strip is the Vegas of the East, where mega casinos like the Venetian and the Grand Lisboa light up the skyline. But even here, heritage pulses beneath the neon, with temples, Portuguese-Chinese fusion cuisine, minchi, bacalhau, egg tarts, and Cantonese opera all part of daily life. Macau isn't just about luck. It's about layers of history, food, culture, and flair. One moment you're sipping espresso in a Baroque courtyard. The next, you're cheering at a baccarat table. It's quirky, classy, and full of surprises. Hidden in southern Jordan's desert canyons, it was once the thriving capital of the Nabatean Empire, a hub of trade, water engineering, and architectural genius. Your journey begins with the Suck, a narrow, winding gorge that builds suspense with every step. And then, suddenly, it opens. There it is, Al-Khazna, the treasury. Its ornate facade glows pink and gold in the morning light, carved entirely from sandstone. It's one of the most iconic views in the world, and just the beginning. Beyond lie hundreds of tombs, temples, and altars. Hike up to the monastery, Ad-Dir, even larger than the treasury, for sweeping views over the desert. Or climb to the high place of sacrifice for a panoramic look at the city's silent majesty. Petra is more than ruins. It's a testament to human creativity, resilience, and beauty in the harshest environment. And when the stars come out and candlelight flickers across the stone, it becomes something else entirely. A place of magic. Wadi Rum is pure cinematic wonder, a Martian desert on Earth. With rust-red dunes, wind-carved sandstone arches, and vast valleys that stretch for miles, It's no surprise this southern Jordanian landscape has starred in movies like The Martian, Dune, and Lawrence of Arabia. The Bedouins call it the Valley of the Moon, and it's easy to see why. There's something otherworldly here. The silence, the shifting shadows, the play of light on rock. Ride a 4x4 through narrow canyons, hike to ancient petroglyphs etched by early humans, or climb a towering rock bridge for views that make your heart race. Spend the night in a desert camp, sipping sweet tea by a fire under a sky filled with stars. The Milky Way stretches overhead, clear and vast. Sleep in a Bedouin tent or a glass dome, waking to a sunrise that sets the sands ablaze in gold. Wadi Rum isn't just scenery, it's poetry, it's presence, a place where time slows and the earth speaks. Cappadocia looks like it was sculpted by dreams. In central Turkey, soft volcanic rock has been carved by wind, water, and time into surreal shapes: fairy chimneys, mushroom spires, and honeycomb hills. It's a landscape unlike anywhere else on Earth. But the magic doesn't stop at the surface. Beneath your feet lie vast underground cities, like Derinkuyu, where early Christians once hid from persecution. Carved into cliffs are ancient cave churches filled with fading frescoes and centuries of sacred silence. The best way to see Cappadocia? From above. At dawn, hundreds of hot air balloons rise into the sky, floating over valleys painted in shades of pink, gold, and ochre. It's peaceful, exhilarating, and unforgettable. Stay in a cave hotel in Göreme. Explore the rock-cut wonders of Zelvi and Ukhisar. Hike through the whimsical Ihlara Valley or enjoy Turkish breakfast on a rooftop terrace. Cappadocia doesn't just dazzle the eyes, it captures the heart. It's not just a destination, it's a fairy tale you can walk through. Pamukkale is nature's spa, a hillside of cascading white travertine terraces filled with turquoise thermal pools. The name means cotton castle in Turkish, and standing atop its soft, snow-like formations, it's easy to see why. These terraces were formed over thousands of years as calcium-rich spring water flowed down the mountainside, leaving behind gleaming layers of minerals. Today, you can walk barefoot along the warm, rippled stone, soaking in shallow pools that reflect the sky like mirrors. At the top lies the ancient city of Hierapolis, a Greco-Roman spa town founded in the 2nd century BC. Explore its amphitheater, temples, and necropolis, then take a dip in Cleopatra's Pool, where ancient marble columns lie beneath the water. Pamukkale is healing inside and out. The water is said to treat everything from arthritis to anxiety. But even if you're not here for health, the sheer beauty is medicine enough. Golden light, bubbling springs, ancient ruins. It's a place where Earth itself feels alive. Asia is more than a continent. It's a journey through time, spirit, and nature. From the highest peaks to the deepest deserts, from ancient temples to futuristic cities, it's a place that stirs the soul and stretches the imagination. We've walked through silent ruins, floated above fairy chimneys, stood before towering statues of gods and kings, and watched the sun rise over landscapes that feel otherworldly. But this is just the beginning. Asia is endless, layered with stories, flavors, and wonders waiting to be discovered. So whether you're dreaming of your first trip or your next one, let this journey inspire you to explore deeper, travel slower, and see the world through curious eyes. If you enjoyed this adventure, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, so you never miss the next incredible journey. Until then, thank you for watching, and keep wondering.